What if you could own a fraction of a skyscraper in Dubai, earn yield from a Hollywood movie's future US Treasury bonds as easily as you trade Bitcoin 24/7 right from a crypto wallet? Sounds fantastic, isn't it? For years, that has been the promise RWA tokenization, bringing real-world assets onto blockchain. We have heard the predictions, like the Boston Consulting Group's forecast that the market could hit $16 trillion by 2030. But for a long time, it was just that, a promise. A series of small experiments. Well, the experimental phase is over, my friends. Welcome to Web3 Today. Today, we are diving deep into the next phase of RWAs. This isn't theory anymore. It's about real institutional grade assets coming on chain at a massive scale, creating new markets, fundamentally changing both crypto and traditional finance. We are talking about the shift from niche pirates to a multi-trillion-dollar system-level upgrade. Stick around because this is where the real revolution begins. Let us begin by setting up the precedent real quick. Phase 1 of RWAs was all about proving the concept. We saw the rise of protocols like Centrifuge and Maple Finance on-chain private credit, allowing DeFi users to lend against real-world business invoices and loans. And it did work. The market has grown exponentially. According to recent market reports, the tokenized RWA market has surged and driven heavily by private credit and more recently, and I'm sure you won't be able to guess it, the US Treasuries. Yes, the star player of the last year has been tokenized US Treasuries. You may ask me the question, why? Because in a world of volatile crypto yields, the stable, predictable yield of government bond is incredibly attractive. Projects like Ondo Finance exploded by offering a token, USDY, that's backed by short-term US Treasuries, essentially giving crypto natives a low-risk, dollar-denominated savings account on the blockchain. But this was just the warm-up act. Phase 2 is where the game changes completely, and it's being led by the large growth many expected to show up. Phase 2 is defined by one theme: institutional adoption. This isn't just crypto companies building for crypto users anymore. We are talking about titans of traditional finance. BlackRock, JP Morgan, Franklin Templeton actively building and deploying on-chain. Let us take BlackRock's Biddle Fund. In partnership with Securitize, they launched a tokenized fund that holds US Treasury bills. It became the largest tokenized treasury fund in a matter of weeks. This wasn't a small experiment, rather a clear signal to markets. So a key question is, why are they jumping in now? Well, as per our analysis, here are three key reasons. Point number 1, efficiency. As Bank for International Settlements BIS report pointed out, tokenization solves real problems. It enables instant settlements, reduces overheads, and automates processes that are currently slow and expensive in traditional finance. Point number 2, new market. Institutions see a massive untapped pool of capital in crypto world. Over $200 billion in stablecoins often sit idle. By offering on-chain, yield-bearing, and regulated products, they can attract that capital. And point number 3 is regulatory clarity. Frameworks like Europe's Marketing Crypto Asset Regulation and US Genius Act are finally providing a clear rule book. While not perfect, it gives institutions the confidence to build real products for long term. This institutional entry creates a massive feedback loop. Their presence brings legitimacy, which attracts more capital and regulatory comfort, which in turn encourages more institutions to join. And my friends, this is the engine of phase 2 of RWA tokenizations. With institutions providing the infrastructure and capital, the types of assets being tokenized are expanding beyond just credit and bonds. This is the most exciting part of the next phase. Let us take some examples of RWA tokenizations at various streams. First and the foremost is real estate. We are moving past the simple idea of an NFT of a house. Rather, we are seeing regulated platforms that allow for fractional ownership of commercial properties, rental streams, and even real estate development projects. Dubai, for example, is actively linking its official real estate registry with tokenization platform. Point number 2, equities and funds. While regulatory hurdles remain, we are seeing the tokenization of shares in private companies and even stakes in VC funds. This could unlock liquidity for assets that are traditionally locked up for years. Boston Consulting Group predicts tokenized funds could alone be a $600 billion market by 2030. Third, exotic and unique assets. This is where it gets really interesting. We are seeing everything from fine art and luxury watches to carbon credits and even music royalties being turned into tradable on-chain assets. Imagine earning yield every time a song you have tokenized stake in gets played in Spotify. RWA tokenization still have challenges and a bumpy road ahead. The next phase still has significant hurdles to overcome, and we have highlighted 3 key points. Point number 1, Oracle problem. How do you reliably get off-chain data like a property's value onto the blockchain in a way that's tamper-proof? Point number 2, liquidity and secondary markets. Issuing a token is one thing. Creating a deep liquid markets where it can be traded is another. And point number 3, legal and jurisdictional complexity. What happens if a tokenized property owner defaults? What country's law apply? These are complex legal questions that are still being worked out. Solving these challenges is the core focus of this new phase. We are seeing the rise of specialized RWA layer 1 blockchains and infrastructure providers focused solely on identity, compliance, and data verification to build the trust layer needed for this ecosystem to thrive. So the next phase of RWA tokenization is here. It's less about the hype and more about the infrastructure. It's being led by institutions, regulated by governments, and it's expanding into every asset class imaginable. This is the bridge that finally connects the multi-trillion-dollar world of traditional finance with the innovation and efficiency of Web3. It represents one of the single biggest opportunities in the digital asset space for the rest of this decade. The question is no longer if real-world assets will be tokenized, rather how quickly and who will build the platform that dominate this new financial landscape. So, what are your thoughts? Which RWA project are you most excited about? Let us know in the comments below. And if you got any value from this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Web3 Today for more deep dives into the future of Web3, tech, blockchain, AI, and finance. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.